So how can a bit of saliva end up as a series of food recommendations, nutrition recommendations, and even lifestyle changes that are going to support your specific fat loss journey? Crazy, right? Hi, I'm Alex Hall, the DNA Fat Loss Coach, and in today's video we're going to be discussing basically how a DNA test works, how you can go from a piece of saliva to these really specific, hyper-personalized tweaks and changes that you can make that are, to be honest, going to be quite easy for the most part, that are going to really support your long-term sustainable fat loss journey. If you're new here, do go ahead and drop me a like and let me know your thoughts and comments, and of course hit that subscribe button. If you're a long-term subscriber, I appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts. Do give it a like, and if you really think this is quite a good one, share it with a friend. That would be really appreciated. Anyway, let's dive into the video. So nearly every cell in the body has some DNA. It's like 99%, if not a bit more, of the cells in the body contain DNA. And the DNA carries the data that makes us unique, right? Think of it as the instruction manual for the body, right? I'm Alex. My DNA contains the instruction manual for Alex, right? You might be John. Your DNA contains the complete instruction manual for John, right? So within our DNA, we have around 20,000 genes, okay? Within these genes, we have things called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms, okay? SNPs for short, okay? So we have our DNA, we have our genes, we have SNPs. And these SNPs, these SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms, contain tiny variations from person A to person B to person C to person D, okay? Tiny variations in the SNP. So DNA to genes to SNPs that have these tiny little variations in them. And these variations in these SNPs contain basically the blueprint for our genetic variations, such as some of our fitness characteristics, muscle power, muscle stamina, recovery, even some inflammation responses to exercise, how our body processes foods, both on the macronutrient scale, so carbs, proteins, fats, and different types of fats, to micronutrients, okay, and even some different supplements, right? Some different kind of molecules that you may see in common supplements. The way our genetic variations are tweak our ability to absorb or process all of these different things. These SNPs can impact our sleep traits and characteristics. Are you likely to be an early riser? Are you likely to be a night owl? Right? Are you likely to need longer sleep? How much does caffeine impact your sleep? All of these different factors and many more are all impacted by these tiny little SNPs, variations in those SNPs. Our ability to process caffeine, right? There's a whole different video on caffeine that you can see on my channel. Okay, I break down the 5 or so different genetic responses we have and how it impacts us in 5 different ways within the body. Okay, so these tiny SNPs have a massive impact on our ability to process and the impact of caffeine on our various systems within the body. Our injury risk, okay, our genetic injury risk is a huge part of, potentially high level sport, but even if you're a regular gym goer or a regular exerciser, you may find you just keep getting injured in certain ways. Maybe it's your knees, maybe it's your Achilles, right? There are genetic variations that put you at higher risk of certain injuries. Amazing, right? So if you understand them, you can then take proactive action. You can maybe reduce training load, you can maybe implement specific recovery protocols to support that and to reduce the risk of those things happening. And then final one, how your heart health can vary, okay? So response to some different foods and how at risk you are to certain, should we say, variations there. So from a single bit of saliva, and I mean a tiny tube, about half full of saliva, you can unlock over 100 insights from your DNA. So your DNA has genes, your genes have SNPs, and those SNPs have minute variations that make us individual, make us unique. Okay, and these things we can basically read. We can read what those variations mean and understand the impact those have on our ability to do all of these things. Food, really big one. Sleep is a massive one. Gut health, stress, and our maybe physical traits as well. If you are interested in doing a DNA test, there are links below in the description where you can find out more details and start a conversation with me. Basically, we can discuss what's the kind of best option for you, depending on what you're looking for. So thank you so much for watching the video. Really appreciate you. Drop a like and of course a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.